To another webinar from the Garmin Marine team. Today we'll be looking at the GPSMAP series, What's Best for You. If you're interested in more information on the Striker or EchoMap series, please check out our webinar, Striker Vivid versus EchoMap UHD and Ultra series, What's Best for You, on Garmin's YouTube channel. The GPSMAP series is available in sizes ranging from a 7-inch all the way up to a 24-inch. We offer two non-touchscreen models in a 10-inch and 12-inch, and touchscreen models in a 7, 9, 10, 12, 16, 17, 22, and 24-inch screen. All GPSMAP series units are radar capable. They are preloaded with both BlueChart G3 and Lakeview G3 mapping with Navionics. XSV models have built-in sonar, except for the 86, 17, 22, and 24, where you will need to add a sonar black box, but we will go over that a little later. All GPSMAP series units are fully networkable and NMEA 2000 capable. Let's take a quick look at the GPSMAP series. For customers looking for a GPSMAP series non-touchscreen MFD, Garmin offers two models, the 10-inch 1042 XSV and the 12-inch 1242 XSV. These models offer keypad interface and a multifunction rotary knob, while still delivering all the features the GPSMAP series is known for. So these units are button operated only. They have no touchscreen and they are not a hybrid unit. Hybrid means they're touch and button. These are button operated only. New for 2021 is the new X3 series. These are available in a 7-inch, 9-inch, and 12-inch. The new improved displays for the 7X3 and the 9X3 include a new higher resolution touchscreen, which offers improved sunlight readable and visibility from any angle. The new 9X3 and 12X3 are offered in IPS displays. The new 7X3 and 9X3 have twice the processing power over the previous generation, and that is the 741, 742s, and 942s. Improved sonar, this is one of the biggest change in the new models. Any of you that are familiar with the 741, 742, and 942, you'll know those have traditional 2D sonar and clear view. They do not come with side view built in. All the new X3 units come with side view built in. I do want to take a moment to mention that all of our GPSMAP series do not include the transducer. We don't know if these are going on a bass boat or an offshore boat, a sailboat, so we let the customer choose what transducer works best for them. Now let's take a look at our all-in-one GPSMAP 8600 XSV series. The 8600 all-in-one MFDs are available in three sizes, a 10, 12, and 16-inch. These come XSV or non-XSV. Just remember, if you want your sonar built in, you have to buy the XSV units. If you're running multiple units on your boat, only one needs to be an XSV model. Once a XSV is connected to a non-XSV unit, my apologies, via network, they will share sonar. The 8600 XSV MFDs offer a lot of great features, such as fully HD IPS color displays. They are preloaded with both BlueChart G3 coastal and Lakeview G3 inland mapping. These models also include a true dual channel 1 kilowatt chirp, and I will explain that a little later. Plus side view and clear view scanning sonar for the clearest images on the water. All GPS MAP 8600 MFDs are both NMEA 2000 capable and fully networkable. Active Captain is also built into all the GPSMAP MFDs. This free all-in-one program and app creates a powerful connection between your compatible mobile device and the Chartplotter. And we finish up with the GPSMAP series with the premium GPSMAP 8400 and 8600. These large format premium MFDs provide a sleek glass helm look and are available in a 17, 22, and 24-inch display that features a full HD in-plane switching touchscreen. These MFDs offer some of the highest resolution on the market. They contain Garmin's fastest processors, providing increased performance, enhanced video processing, and the fastest chart drawing offered in a Garmin MFD. So now we're going to look at a few options for a few different types of boats out there. And first, we're going to look at the Tournament Series bass boat. So if you have a Tournament Series bass boat, you may want to take a look at the EchoMap Ultra Series. I would say 80% of our pros fishing the tournaments this year are using the EchoMap Ultra Series. But a little higher performance units would be the 743, 943, and 1243. These are great units for that Tournament Series bass boat. You're getting some additional features, quick draw contours, preloaded Blue Chart G3 and Lakeview G3. That comes in all the GPSMAP series, as well as the EchoMap Ultra series. These are networkable, built-in sonar, Panoptics capable, which is huge, and these have a dual micro SD card slot. So to take full advantage of what you're getting, let's look at some of the features. So starting up top, these units have auto guidance. So basically, when you set your unit up, you're going to tell the unit what your minimum depth is and maximum height you need. Then anywhere on the chart, you just touch the screen and you'll see auto guide. Once you select auto guide, this will now give you the safest route to get to that destination. Again, like I mentioned before, these units come with both Blue Chart Lakeview G3 and Blue Chart G3 cartography. These have over 17,000 lakes with 1 foot contours preloaded. But you can go to lakes.garmin.com, pull up your state, your lake, see if your lake is preloaded into the chart. They come with 2D traditional sonar. They also come with our Clearview Vivid color palettes, also Vivid side view scanning sonar. Engine data is available through NMEA 2000. These units also offer depth range shading. So this is a really nice feature. If let's say you're fishing for smallmouth bass and you notice they're hitting between 15 and 20 feet of water, you can actually go into the chart plotter and set the range for 15 to 12, or I'm sorry, 15 to 20 to show up in red. And then that will outline that lake in red wherever the depth is 15 to 20 feet. So you know exactly if those fish are being caught in that 15 to 20 foot range, you can now know exactly where on that lake 15 to 20 feet of water is. Of course, live scope, all the GPSMAP series units are capable of running live scope, active captain, and the units have the ability to do quick draw contours. So quick draw contours is where maybe you look at lakes.garmin.com and your lake isn't preloaded. You can actually turn on quick draw and draw 1 foot contours of any body of water you're on. So if that transducer is pinging the bottom, it's going to draw 1 foot mapping on your unit. That's your mapping. It doesn't go away. You can share that through Active Captain with the quick draw community. Or you can actually go in and download mapping. So if I've uploaded mapping of my area and you come down to where I live, you can go on the Quick Draw community, pull up the maps that have been uploaded and download them for free. So let's look at the flats and bay boats. So when I talk about bay boats, I'm talking about the 21 foot and under center consoles. So a great option for these boats would be, again, the X3 series, the 743, 943, or 1243. Again, starting at the top, you're getting auto guidance. You're getting both your Lakeview G3 and your Blue Chart G3 cartography preloaded. So again, like me, I like to fish coastal waters, but I do take my boat into freshwater sometimes. So, hey, I've got all my maps. I don't need to buy any additional maps. This does come with a single channel chirp traditional sonar, Clearview and side view built into the X3 series. Radar, I put this down here because I want to make sure you guys understand that all the GPSMAP series are radar capable. EchoMap Ultra units are not. So if you do have that bay boat and you fish inland, but you may want to go offshore next year and want to add a radar, you can do that with the X3 or any of the GPSMAP series units. You cannot do that with the EchoMap or EchoMap Ultra units. Same goes for the GXM54 weather antenna. That can be added to a GPSMAP series unit. It cannot be added to an EchoMap or EchoMap Ultra unit. These units are also VHF capable, running through NMEA 2000, simple hookup, engine data through NMEA 2000. Here you may need to look at your engine manufacturer. This does require a gateway, and that's provided by the engine manufacturer. So you may have to go back to your dealer and ask for a gateway to be added if you want to read your engine data. Again, LiveScope capable, active captain, Fusion stereo integration. So hey, if you've got a Fusion stereo, you can control it through the Chartplotter, and you can mount that stereo somewhere where it's out of the weather. And again, you get quick draw. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is the X3 series adapter bezels. So if we look at previous models, the 742, 942, and 1242, these units had the card reader on the front, right around here. You can see with the new models, we took the card reader and moved it to the back. So these units are actually smaller than the X2 series. So if you have these flush mounted on your dash, you can actually buy one of the bezels. This mounts over the hole, and then the new units will fit right onto the bezel. So you won't have to drill out a bigger hole, or you won't have to buy a piece of starboard and put over that hole. Really nice feature. Looking at the back of the unit, we have the power cable, goes into the red slot right here. We've got one network port on the 7 and 9-inch unit. You have dual network ports on the 12-inch unit. 12-pin sonar, all scanning sonar goes into the orange port. They also have J1939, NMEA 2000, USB, and the 12-inch comes with an HDMI output. Let's look at just a few examples of some transducers that you can hook up to the X3 series. So the orange, because it has an orange port on it, that means it will take any of our scanning transducers, such as a GT52, the GT56, the GT51. So these have traditional 2D sonar, clear view, and side view, okay? If you're a bass fisherman, and you just want to go only with a transamount transducer, I would highly recommend the GT56. That's what comes in the EchoMap and EchoMap Ultra UHD series. That's a great transducer. The GT52 is also good for inland, where the GT51 is good for offshore. This is a 600 watt transducer versus a 250 watt transducer. So it's double, almost a little over double the power, so you can get down to deeper water. Where the GT56 is just a good all-around transducer, it's 500 watts. So in some cases, bass boats especially, at high speeds, transamount transducers will not work. So what you will have to do is buy one of our Y cables. So this is the part number, they're $24.99. So with the Y cable, you would plug the orange port, orange connector would go into the orange port. Then you have a orange and a blue connector coming off the Y, okay? So with the orange connector, you could run a GT36 UHD transducer or a GT30 transamount transducer. These will give you side view and clear view. Because like I said earlier, a transamount transducer at high speeds, a lot of times you lose the bottom. A lot of bass boats are going with a GT8 in hull or a GT15 in hull, and a lot of the flats and bays boats are going with a B60 through hull. The B60 or the GT15 or GT8 only shows traditional 2D sonar. The reason you can't go with a B60 and let's say a GT56 is it's not good to run two of the same frequency transducers at the same time. They're traditional. So you can have crosstalk. So by going with the Y cable, you can go with a separate transducer for traditional and a separate transducer for clear view and down view. If you do opt to go with this Y cable, these are the only transducers that'll work with this Y cable. So don't try to add a GT8 to a GT56. It will not work. If you go with a GT8, it can only work with a GT36 or a GT30. Same with the B60 and GT15. In the box, you're getting everything you need to mount the unit in the box. We also supply a micro SD card. They're pre-installed, and that's for active captain. You're also going to get an 8-pin to 12-pin sounder adapter cable. What this is going to do for you offshore guys who don't really care about side view or down view, you only want to run a B60 or like a B75. You can plug that straight into the blue connector. Please check with the Garmin transducer guide to make sure the transducer you select is compatible with that unit. You sailboaters, I haven't forgotten about you. I would definitely suggest, again, going with the X3 series, the 743, 943, or 1243. If you want to go with a little higher performance, a little faster processor, I would jump up to the 8610 XSV or the 8612 XSV. Again, going from the top, with these units, we can add the GNX wind instruments. Again, you're going to get your Blue Chart G3 and Blue Chart G3 cartography. So no matter where you go sailing, you've got that cartography you need. We do offer several different GNX wireless cell packs. So please go to Garmin.com. Several different options available. Radar capable, GXM weather capable. You can hook your VHF radio up to it. Your engine data can be hooked up to it. Aquatics watch. So, you know, if you want to see all that wind data you're bringing into your chart plotter, or any of those NMEA 2000, any of that NMEA 2000 data you're bringing into your chart plotter, you can actually view it on the watch as well. The GPSMAP series also has built-in cell assist, which gives you a lot of great features. We also make several different autopilots for sailboats. Again, Fusion Stereo, you've got to have your music. And again, several, G-wind instruments if you just want to get wind direction, speed, things like that, brought into your GPSMAP series. And we also offer smart transducers, wireless smart transducers, very easy to hook up. Now let's take a quick look at our offshore center consoles. So these are the bigger boats, and I would say, 26-footer or bigger. Good would be the GPS 1042 XSV or 1242 XSV. Remember, these are manual only. You could pair that with a 1243 XSV or go up to our 8612 XSV or the big one, the 8616 XSV. Some people like to have a manual unit on the boat. They don't want a touchscreen unit, or maybe they like to have both, the best of both worlds. So you can go with a 1042 and an 8612 XSV. Both they will network together, so you have basically the best of both worlds. You got a keypad controlled unit here with the 1042 or 1242, and a touchscreen unit with the 8612, 8616, or the 1243. They will all network together. Again, you're getting a lot of the same features we already talked about, but I do want to go over them with you one more time. When you go with a 1042, 1242 XSV or the 1243 XSV, again, you're going to get auto guidance. You're going to get all your mapping included. You're going to get a single channel chirp traditional sonar plus clear view and side view. They're radar capable, so you can add radar dome or an open array. The GXM weather. GXM weather is very popular right now with fish mapping. Also, that'll give you your Sirius radio that can easily be hooked up to any of our GPSMAP series units. VHF radio capability through NMEA 2000, engine capability, engine data capability through NMEA 2000, the aquatic watch, FLIR camera. A lot of boats at this size like to add a FLIR camera. Remember, this is not a Garmin product, but they will work. Please check with FLIR and Garmin for the right models. And remember to use a PoE, Power over Ethernet coupler with your FLIR camera. Again, we have a selection of autopilots. And of course, I know you guys on those offshore boats like running those 20, 30 speakers. So you want to go with that full Fusion command center. And again, they do auto guidance and quick draw. When we jump up to the 8600 XSV units, we're getting all the same features and capabilities, but with the 8600, we're adding dual channel chirp. And I'm going to go over this on the next slide, but this gives you the ability to add two Airmar 2D traditional transducers. So you can add like a B75M and a B75L, or a B175H and a B175 low. So you have the ability to run 2 chirping transducers on these units to get to that deeper water. So what comes in the box? You get everything in the box to hook these up. I do want to point out that the gimbal bracket only comes with the 10 and 12. That will have to be ordered. That is an accessory on the 16-inch screen. Looking at the back of the unit, we have dual micro SD card slots right here. We have 2 Garmin Marine Network ports, 1 HMDI input, 1 HDMI output. We have a composite video input, an audio output, and that's for your Fusion. 2-pin power connector, USB, NMEA 2000, J1939 connections. Here, I'll show you where we have an 8-pin sonar. That's where one of your chirping transducers would plug into. Then we have an additional port for our 12-pin sonar, or this is where your other chirping transducer would plug into. We also have a yellow port here, and that's really for our LVS12 live scope. So if your unit doesn't have a yellow port, you cannot use the LVS12. I would definitely highly recommend going with the LVS32 if you're looking to add Panoptics or Panoptics live scope on the boat. These plug in to the network port. So here's where I want to take a minute and talk about dual chirp capabilities. So again, some of the boats, if you can get away with just a transom mount transducer and you really want clear view and side view, you could pick any of these transducers. They would plug straight into the orange pin port. These are our scanning transducers. A lot of the bigger boats like to fish in deeper water, where side view and down view, really, if you're over 200 feet, I don't recommend them. So then you would want to go with like a B60, or a lot of people are going with dual chirp. So they're running 2 transducers. Like I mentioned before, they're going with an Airmore B75 or B175 H and a B175 low. So the H would plug into the blue port, and then you could plug the low transducer into the orange port. Now you have running dual chirp. You can run both transducers at the same time, and if they're ran into the same unit, you can actually do split screen running all your frequencies. So let's talk about Garmin network connections. So that's Ethernet. So this is where our units talk to each other and we share pictures. So if we want to share sonar and charts, this is through the network port. Other components that hook up to the network port is the Panoptics live scope system that plugs into the network port. Radars plug into our network port. The FLIR cameras, which aren't Garmin, plug into the network port. And here is the PoE isolator coupler that you are going to need. So please order this coupler if you're going to run a FLIR system into a Garmin Chartplotter. The GC200 Marine IP camera plugs into the network. And again, the GXM54 weather antenna plugs into the network. So you can see we only have 2 network ports here. So if we're plugging all these systems in, we may want to opt to add the GMS10 network port expander. So we would run a drop cable from one network port to the port expander, and then we can run our radar into the port expander. We can run our live scope into the port expander. We can run the FLIR into the port expander. So we can fill this port expander up. If we have to, we can actually daisy chain another port expander. It's perfectly all right to daisy chain a port expander to a port expander. Okay, so that is the Garmin Marine Network. So Marine Network, sharing compatibility, additional MFDs. So if we want to add another MFD, we can network them together. And what we will show would be our sonar. We would also show Panoptics and Panoptics live scope. Mapping. So all your mapping on one screen would network over to the other screen. Waypoints, routes, and tracks. So if you have all your waypoints, routes, and tracks saved into one unit, you bring them up, you can share them over to the other unit. The GXM54 weather antenna will share. Sirius XM, not Fusion, but the Sirius XM portion of the GXM54 weather will go over the network. FLIR, not Garmin, will share over the network. IP video cameras. Now let's talk about NMEA 2000. So NMEA 2000 is also available in all of our GPSMAP Series MFDs. NMEA 2000 is the way Garmin shares data between units. It's also how the GPS series communicates with devices such as autopilots, our new MSC-10 satellite compass, VHF radios as well, and many other products. This is also how the GPSMAP series communicates and receives engine data. So again, very simple. We do network. These units will do network and NMEA 2000. If we wanted to add an additional MFD, very simple. We could add a T, add a drop cable to the NMEA 2000 port on the back of the unit, and now all this information will be shared between units. I would also, if I was doing this, I would also run a network connector from one port to the other, and now once that network port is connected, I can share my sonar, my charts, and everything else we talked about previously. So what's shareable with NMEA 2000? Autopilot, that's shared through NMEA 2000. Engine data shared through NMEA 2000. And remember, you need to check with the engine manufacturer. You may need to add a gateway to the boat. VHF radio is hooked up through NMEA 2000. AIS systems are hooked up through NMEA 2000. All of our G-Wind instruments are also hooked up through NMEA 2000. Fusion audio. Remember I spoke earlier about the Sirius XM radio. That is through the network, but a Fusion, if you hooked up a Fusion on the boat, it goes through NMEA 2000. GMI 20s are hooked up through NMEA 2000. The GPS 24 is hooked up through NMEA 2000. The new MCS-10 Marine Satellite Compass is also hooked up through NMEA 2000. The GFS-10 fuel tracking system is hooked up through NMEA 2000. And the smart transducers are all hooked up through NMEA 2000. So let's take a minute and look at the Sportfish or the big yacht. Here, I would highly recommend going with our premium series. The premium glass helm displays we offer in a 17, 22, or 24-inch wide multi-touch displays. So again, you're getting all those features I spoke about earlier, but we're adding a few more capabilities. And again, you can add these capabilities in the smaller boats, but most of these are added in the bigger boats. So one thing is the One Helm. The One Helm brings together all the operations and capabilities provided by our industry partners into one simple control center. So you can go to Garmin.com to see a full list of One Helm partners. So here we have One Helm partners that, like Lumishore Lighting as an example. You can control all your Lumishore lighting through the Garmin Chartplotter, and that's just one of our One Helm partners. Our On Deck Hub. The On Deck Hub, you can be on your vessel from virtually anywhere. You can track, monitor, and control up to 5 switches on your boat with the On Deck system. It's a fully integrated remote connection solution, basically. So you could basically be at home, see if your batteries are low. You can see if your shore power gets disconnected. You can see if your bilge pumps are kicking on. It'll alert you. You can put a perimeter around your boat. And if that boat leaves that perimeter, it'll send you alert. And you can it'll also send an alert maybe to the dock master. You can set multiple accounts up. So, you have that peace of mind at what's happening on your boat when you're away. Again, everything else, FLIR cameras, the GSD-26. This is our black box system. Remember, with the 84, 8600s, the 17, 22, and 24, they don't have a sonar modular built in. So you have to add one of our GSD-26 or one of our black box systems on the boat. So looking at our black box sonars, the two I would suggest would be the GSD25 or the GSD26. So here's a case where maybe you bought a 8616 and you didn't buy an XSV unit, or you have one of the new 17, 22, or 24-inch screens. You could add the GSD25, and that's basically what comes preloaded in our 10, 12, and 16 XSV model. It's a true dual channel 1 kilowatt chirp with chirp side view and clear view. The other option, basically, which I would probably definitely recommend for, the offshore guy, the serious fisherman who's fishing deep water, he would want to go with the GSD26. This is our professional sonar modular, and it's traditional chirp only, so you're not getting side view and clear view, but that will read up to a 3 kilowatt transducer. Looking at the back of the units of the 8400, 8600 glass helm chart plotters, you've got 4 networking ports. You've got your power supply, you've got your NMEA 0183, you've got an HDMI in, an HDMI out, composite video in, USB, NMEA 2000, and J1939. If you want to know more about what all these connections do, please check out our webinar, GPSMAP 8600 XSV Series, What's Up with All the Connections on the Back. John does a great job in going through all the connections on the back of the chart plotter. What's in the box? A couple of things you'll see is a little different with the 8600, 17, 22, and 24-inch units. These units do not have a built-in antenna, so they come with a GPS antenna that you will have to mount. Everything else basically comes in the box. The other thing you'll notice, there is no card reader on the 17, 22, or 24-inch model. So you will have to add a card reader unless you're hooked up to a unit that has a card reader already in it. So you will need a card reader for running additional mapping or updating software via Active Captain. So let's take a quick look at a couple accessories. The USB SD card reader, this is something I just spoke about. You're going to need to add this card reader if you go with a 17, 22, or 24-inch unit. These hook up to the USB port on the back. It's a small footprint, 2-inch by 2-inch, and it has two dual card reader slots. And these will work basically for the 8600 or the X3 series. So remember, on all these new units, the card reader is in the back of the unit. So if these are flush mounted on the dash, it's hard to get to the back of that unit to insert or take out that card. So this is very simple. You can mount that anywhere on the console, so you'll have easy access to it. I also want to talk about the Grid 20 remote input device. So the Grid 20 is a great add-on for customers looking to add remote access and control to their GPSMAP touchscreen MFD. The Grid 20 can be connected to the MFD through NMEA 2000 or wirelessly through 2 AA batteries. So very simple. If you do have a touchscreen unit, but you also like those hybrid units, you like to be able to control a unit with a keypad and a rotary knob. This can be mounted anywhere on the boat. It can be mounted in the helm chair and run it off 2 AA batteries. You can even hold it in your hand. But this is a great addition to turn your touchscreen into a button operated unit as well. So the Grid 20 is available in a vertical or horizontal model. Last but not least, I want to let you know, I mentioned our webinar series. We have many more webinars we've already done. We go into detail on setting up your sonar, setting up your radar, things like that. So please check out our Garmin Marine webinars on our Garmin YouTube channel. Also, if you like podcasts, please check out our podcast Behind the Chart Plotter, where we interview some great Garmin ambassadors. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time to go over the webinar with me. Please, if you have any questions, please reach out to marine.training@garmin.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Hope to see you on the water.